Hey YouTube! Yep, sorry Victory, I've been talking to you for the last 5 minutes. Turned out I hadn't actually clicked go live yet. Aye. So I have now. How's everyone doing? Yeah, still not got my new laptop, still not moving on to the room that's for YouTubing yet. And the plan is once everything's in there, I can make this a little bit tidier and have a classy living room. Is the audio okay? It sounds... I'm getting good in the VU meters, even when I'm using the bass, which isn't plugged in, which is weird. Mic is too hot. Hey Scott, how's it going? I'll just stand further away, is that better? Turn it down a wee bit. Oh, not that key. Hey Ben, Scott. Yeah, it's actually easier keeping a bit of distance anyway, though it really seems to be showing my missing tooth. Yeah, VF. I can't smoke in here though, well, which is actually doing me quite good. So basically it probably means I can monetize the live streams. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to smoke on YouTube. But to be honest, like especially see bits of my hi-fi and stuff that I brought from the other room, in that wee tiny room that was sitting smoking in, was pretty manky. Like, so maybe just smoking out the kitchen door is a better in the long term. Maybe smoking a wee bit less as well. But I do want a 70s style standing ashtray just for putting the keyboard on even. Almost Bucky time. Bucky time! I did buy another bottle, but I've still got this. I went less from last week. Hey Alex, how's it going? Yeah, I got your message earlier on. I see that somebody's pinched the Jen dropping the guitar. See that video on its original run? That got over 1 million views before Jen monetised her portrait of Tracy. I don't know what that means. What portrait of Tracy? Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Hey, Joachim. Oh, I'll use that. Put my backy there. Cheers, dead tired after first rehearsal after 40 years playing from band on stage. 4 hours, AC/DC, Metallica. Only cut wow, but 4 hours is a... It's... When I joined the Black Sabbath band, I hadn't been in a band for probably not that long, but not like a... I was in Project Ray with Jesse Ray and my pals, but that was kind of like a weird one. We didn't have a drummer, so it wasn't as sweaty, but I really found that I was really struggling with the Sabbath stuff, with the 3 hour thing, because yes, I play the guitar all the time, yes, I play the bass all the time, but you never ever get sore hands, because as soon as they start to get a wee bit sore, I do something else, whereas when you're in the studio playing songs, you got to keep going, so it's like I really... Especially when the first couple of weeks, it was really this, but after an hour, it would be like pure just hand cramps and stuff. Been listening to radio. What are you playing, Joachim? Is it bass or guitar? Is there a Buckfast culture? I don't know if there is one. Is there actually a culture, or is it just something that people talk about? Oh. Is a toy just to buy an acoustic bass? Honestly, I would kind of recommend this one. This is a Gear for Music one. They're only £103 delivered, brand new. I got it at a car boot sale, but I wasn't going to buy it, and I was like, as soon as I played it, even though I did need to adjust it a wee bit, bring the action down and stuff, and the strings were absolutely minging. It sounds really good, and it's like, I used to have an acoustic bass years ago. It was a Westfield, but it was a really fancy one. It was made of like exotic wood, and it had lots of binding on it, and it had a hard case and stuff, and it was just one of those. It was a small-bodied one, like a Yamaha APX, which makes it quieter. So basically you want an acoustic bass to be as big as possible, so it's loud enough. And I think maybe being a bit better on the bass now, I can thump it a bit more, but it doesn't seem as quiet as the one I had before. Also, the thought is, it's the sort of thing you want to take camping and throw in the back of the car, so you don't want something that's worth a couple of £100. Remedy for sore hands: don't play the guitar, Mr. Whitesnake. What kind's it against? A gear for music? Cheapest one they got. That's what I said. I looked it up to see how much it was. I mean, I paid £30 for it, something like that. I think I got it. I got it with a mad keyboard as well. Maybe I paid a wee bit less than that, maybe 20 something. Yeah, as I talk, but I would honestly maybe try, if you can get a second hand one. They're for only £100 new. You're probably, if you can find one. I remember years ago, a guy I used to teach guitar to he just called it a shit one. It was black. It wasn't electroacoustic. This is electroacoustic for £100. Pickup doesn't sound fantastic, but Temu. I don't think the thing about Temu is you can't buy maybe you can buy an acoustic bass in Temu. I don't know, but you just look at it's the shipping of these things, you know. Hey, Shaky Blues. Funk bass, oh dear. I don't know. Funk bass is a weird one. But they give me a text message saying Mad Malco is now live. I know. Also, I noticed there, I went through the toilet and came back through again and looked at the screen and there was nothing on it. I thought, oh, it's not working, and it's like, because I'm standing over there, I wasn't on the screen. Now I'm here, you know. So I was looking at it, expecting to see me standing there, but it was yeah, maybe going a little bit mad. I wasn't super keen on the acoustic bass strings. I remember buying acoustic bass strings a few years ago, and they were really cheap. They were like £7, and they were brilliant. But they were you get the two different types of strings. Hey Jez, how's it going? Go tell us what movie you're going to watch then, and I'll tell you if it's good or not. But yeah, cheers again. Needs auto tuning. No. I think you'll probably find it. See, honestly, you'll come after a couple of weeks, you'll just get used to it and you'll remember. And you probably, these copper strings, yeah, that's what I was talking about. These are the coppery ones, which I don't like, but that was the only. It was the only ones I could find. Because it's like you get the copper ones, which are sort of softer and mellower on an acoustic guitar, and then you get nickel, the sort of gold ones, which are the ones I like on an acoustic. I don't like the coppery ones, but the coppery ones were the only ones I could find for this. But I mean, they're better than the ones that were on it. They were minging. How's the toilet in your place? It's not bad. The showers, it's got a bath, which I never had before, but the shower's an electric shower, so it doesn't have the shower in the last house, even though it didn't work for the last few months. I went like a whole month without any hot water. It had mega pressure. It should be mega pressure here, seeing as the reservoir's just literally, I don't know, about 5 miles in that direction and up however many hundreds of feet. I've been trying flat wound strings on my bass this week. I was playing a gig with a guy who likes their sound. I'm not into them. Hey Taylor, no, I can't. I don't like the flat wounds. They seem much smaller. I don't know. They're a bit. I don't know. I'm not a fan. It might just be because I'm used to round wounds, but I played when I was playing in New York. There was a blues night thing, and I was up playing bass, and it was like, obviously I was in New York, so I never had anything with me. I was like, look at the guy had like a Squire 51 P bass type thing. I was like, sorry, ask if I could borrow it. That's fine. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm going to be able to play this. And then went on it, and suddenly the action was high, so high, twice what this acoustic bass is, and it had fucking round wound strings, and it had a cover over the strings as well. It was very difficult, but I'm not a fan of them. They're also incredibly expensive. I mean, if you like the sound of them, that's it. But I mean, I tried them and was like, I don't know what the big fuss is about. I don't really like this. I don't think they sound any different. They just feel shit. You have a bath every fortnight when I need it. Quite right. Yeah. Electric shower sounds terrifying and dangerous. I think it's cheap. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It's enough to get wet, but it's. I don't know. The thing is, there's a combi boiler. It just seems a bit silly to not have a thing. Yeah. Does it have a built-in tuner? It does not. No, it's maybe the new one does. It's just got bass EQ, very basic. In fact, it's exactly the same basic. In fact, this might be 20 years old actually. It's probably 10 years old. The strings were pretty minging. So you need to have to get a clip-on tuner. But I mean, you can replace the EQ unit, although it does say bass EQ on it, so it might be different frequencies that are on this than would be on if you plugged the piezo into like the acoustic guitar one with the tuner in it. The bitter end wasn't it? It was called the Red Lion. It wasn't the bitter end. It was called the Red Lion, and it was a jam with a guy called Ed Sullivan, who's apparently had been hosting that jam every Thursday night since 1987 or something like that. I felt a bit of a fraud because everyone else was obviously big blues things, and it was a big thing. I just turned up like, yeah, I don't know any of these songs. It's cool. I'll just play. If it's blues, it'll be easy. A, here we go. Yep. I started playing frets. I see, I never really got the fretless thing, Jess. Maybe one day. Got to be good ones though, cheap shite. I don't think you really get cheap road. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I've got too many basses. If I had like 2 basses, then I would maybe change strings on them, but I don't. I've got like 10. So, I mean, I'm sitting there. There's a bass sitting there. It's still got. I'm 95% sure it's the strings on it are original, and it's from 1987. There's not a lot of treble in those strings, so I'm going to have to tune it. I'm going to have to redo it at some point to see what it actually sounds like. I love it. See, I flats on a Mustang bass, maybe because it gives you more twang. I don't know. I mean, I think there's just a thing about. I know a lot of famous folk use flat wounds, but to me, it just depends what you're used to. Well, thanks very much, Jack. Hey, Ravensbeads. Haven't been here for a while. No, I've not been on for a while. Yes, I have moved. I've now got my record library. I nearly got another. I need another one. Another one of those IKEA units, like a 1 before, to go in there. And that'll just mean that all the records are on the top 3 shelves instead of having W to Z down on the floor. Saw one this morning, but for some reason my phone wouldn't send a message, and then when eventually it did, it was already gone. It's like, damn it. Yeah, 25 watching. Yeah, if you could spike the likes, that's great. Only, it doesn't tell me how many likes it used to tell me. Damn 10 bases. I think, to be honest, 10 bases is probably an underestimate. Including this one. So I've got 2 Schecters, the Gibson, the Washburn B28, Washburn Force 4, Grant, Roadster bass, Fernandez, that Aria Pro, the PB, the Scavenger, the Vultures 12, and I'm pretty sure I've not done them, the wee red bass, the Hondo, yeah, so I've got 15 basses, yeah. I'm I'm not afraid of the fretless bass, Jess. It's just one of those things, a little bit like slide guitar playing. I don't really like listening to it. There's not really anything. When I 10 years ago, I got into playing the fretless bass a bit, and it really turned out I don't like the sound of it. It sounds like I'm just making an excuse for not having learned it, but I did kind of learn it. I played gigs with it. I just felt that once you get bored of kind of sliding between notes, it just wasn't my thing. Yes, it's unrealistic how long bass strings last for. Judge Death as well. Yeah. Hey, Slushy. Hello, South Africa. My uncle's in South Africa. Don't drop it. I was aware I was doing that. Yes, I know. Jamerson never put. When asked what strings he played, had to put what kind of came from the factory. I have heard this before. I don't know if it's so much corrosion that kills bass strings for me. Sometimes it does, but you can kind of keep them clean and stuff like that, and they just go dead. You know, when the strings on that Aria bass are not, they don't look bad. It's only when you go to touch them, instead of going, they just go. So it's like. When you amplify it, you can sound it. We did the bathroom when you got to the place, went crazy, pure rocks on the walls, and the rain shower with me. Like, yeah, I'm only renting, Mr. Whitesnake. I'll get my own one, a rain shower. Yes. I remember we did one in Balfron with my dad, and it was like the tap was like your waterfall thing. So the tap was kind of like a tray that came out with the water ran down and then trickled off the front. Oh, they have greasy fingers. Some people just you just got to wipe your strings down more. I don't know if it's necessarily greasy, but it's some people's sweat is sticky and sometimes it isn't. Because I mean, I've playing gigs and stuff. Obviously, I sweat when I'm exerting myself, and it's like, you know, the guitar's pure minging, but it doesn't go sticky or slimy. It's just, ugh. You know. But I've had folk before. I remember a guy. I can't remember what his name was. On the south side, and he had a few guitars, and like, see, he had said he had acidic sweat, but I was like looking at it, and the guitar was only, it was an Ibanez, and it was only like 2 years old, and it looked like the bridge was like rotting. You know, it was like, you know, like, I don't know, like acid attack or like rust, like it'd been underwater. It was totally getting eaten away, and it was just like the guitar was only like 2 years old. It was, so I've got acidic sweat, but I mean, to be honest, it was manky. So I mean, if you've got acidic sweat, just wipe them down. There's a way around it, I'm sure. Any new gear, anyone? This is relatively new. Only bought this last week. I was at the car boot sale 2 weeks ago. And I got, what else did I get? Already had that. I haven't had any new guitars this week. Well done, me. Yeah. Road-worn maple cap telly. The only way to prove it is to try it back. The outside of the string is not the issue. It's the mobility of the windings, and that's between them and the core. That's probably, there's truth in it, yes. But I won't be buying flat wounds. I don't like the feel of them. It's one of those things that if they were a $5, you know, or like a $10, I would give it a go for a month, and then. But it's just, you can't. Strings on my basses have to last years. My new gadget this week is a Shure mic and talk box for future cover with a new band. Hard to avoid in living the prayer. Right, so that's that's a different type of talk box, because the original one, the one that Frampton owns is it goes between your amp head and your speaker cabinet. So it could be like that. I had a Dan Electro one, which kind of was like a pedal, so you could run it in the pedal, and what it did, it had a wee speaker in the actual pedal with a tube coming out it, and then wee microphones on the top of the tube, so it would plug it back in again, so the signal went into the pedal, out the speaker on the pedal, up the tube, into your mouth, and then was picked up by two wee microphones that were clipped to the top of the tube, and then it went back down into the pedal and then through your signal chain. I found it incredibly sore on my jaw, just trying to. It's just something alien trying to and kind of, and it really was quite. Being at the dentist. An Epiphone Century Deluxe Master Built. It's a load of crap, really. It sounds expensive. It's like, okay, Epiphone doesn't sound particularly expensive, but Century Deluxe and Master Built, all, is that you just saying too much? You know, it's like need a new mic. My shit sounds like sounds karaoke. I think that's just you sound karaoke, Mr. Whitesnake, whether you had a mic or not. But have you not got? Have I not seen your one on Temu, the one that lights up? Yeah, I mean, I think this mic's good. I've not really used it enough. This was basically I just bought it off the singer in the Sabbath band. It was like, Craig told me it was good, so I bought it, and I've never really used it. And I was like, I'll give a shot of it. And then that was a few months ago, and eventually I was like, look, just let me buy it, I'll give you the money for it. So, my girlfriend wants to give me a BC Rich bass. Are they any good? Aye, girlfriends can be good, especially if they buy you a BC Rich bass. Definitely. I mean, they're cool as fuck, BC Rich basses. I don't actually own one. I've never seen one yet. If you can get a Japanese one, they'll be absolutely fantastic. But the way they look like, it could be. I'd like a BC Rich bass. I nearly bought a Mockingbird bass one time, but the guy wouldn't sell it. I can't remember what it was. It was 110 quid and offered him 100 and he said no, and it was like, or something. That was about 10 years ago. Top box without the hose, just a pedal with a mic. Oh, it'll be some sort of aye, it'll be like a vocoder type thing, like doing the same thing but with a different technology. Yes. A vintage. I didn't know you got an SM54. I did buy an SM57, a genuine SM57, not a Shure SM57. Just the mic's just called an SM57. It was like £7 off Temu, but I've not plugged in. I've not set the room up. I'm just using a mic down there, so I'll have one of them. But I've never even heard of an SM54. I knew there was a 57 and a 58, and I knew that the 58 is the one that just looks like a mic, and the other one looks like a mic that doesn't have the round bit on the top. But a blue Fender Vaporizer amp combo last week arrived yesterday. Well done, Dave. It doesn't fit in this room, the Vaporizer. It's sitting there, and to be honest, I'm using the PV. Well, I'm not using any amp just now. I'm using the PV because it goes quieter than the Vaporizer does. Vaporizer is just like, if there was anything I could change on it, I would change the volume control so that when you were at like a quarter on the volume control, it would be where it is just now on 1. Do you know what I mean? Just so that there was more range between very quiet and this kind of volume, and then less range at the top. Yeah, I'm just talking to you a second ago. Andy was talking about this mic, the TC Electronic one, which I bought off you. Audio Technica, it's great. £500 with £500 for an Epiphone. There you go. Ever played with a talk box? If so, how is it? Cool a pain in the ass. I had the Dan Electro one. Did a video on it, but my jaw hurt after doing the video for half an hour. That I just sold it. Got a Marshall MG50. But Marshall MGs are great. Yeah, it's like they are. It's that's the old school. Like when I was starting to play the guitar, that would be a pure dream thing of mine. They'd be fine. No new guitars this week, but picked up a Digitech Jamman Looper FX3 and PSU for £60. That sounds pretty good. The FX3, yeah, my Digitech Jamman's the stereo, but what the FX3 foot switch is, which I built one out of an old video case. It means you've got a start button and a stop button, I think was the main thing that did, whereas the Jamman stereo already has a start and a stop. You get used to the, once to start it and twice to stop it type thing, but it's nice just having a separate button. You just get used to it. I have a Shure SM57, it's great. I was actually watching, who's the guy, the Canadian guy, fat guy, long hair, producer, likes playing, just plays really, really heavy metal music, which I don't like. He was talking about the SM57 and how it was a total mistake, and the reason it was it's the Holy Grail, and that was because there wasn't anything else in the studio. That was it. It wasn't because it was great. It was because that was the only one. It was because they were making up a snare drum. It was the only one that was robust enough that if you accidentally hit it with a drumstick, or you were blasting it with the front of a speaker cabinet, like a ribbon mic, which sounded a million times better, would just break and be thousands of pounds. I don't know. Yeah, Irish Pilot. Oh, that bucky's going down awful well. I collection of nice mics. See, I don't have any. I've got this. This is my nice mic now. The other ones are Behringer. Yeah, Irish Pilot. Enjoyed the vinyl videos. I did A, which goes from about there to, well, that's Black Sabbath. Just basically the first thing, and I was looking at it, and it took me 2 videos, and it was like half an hour in total, and nobody watched them. And then B goes from like there to there somewhere, so there's like 3 times as many B, and I just I can't be bothered doing it. I'll maybe do it at some point. I'll need to sort it out. I need to get the other room built so I can get all the guitars out here so I can actually get. What's the no point in having a library? I'm already putting shit in front of it so I can't get to it, which is annoying. The one I bought is a pedal with a mic plugged into it and a mixer board. Guitars to the pedal, much convenient in old style with rubber hose in your mouth. Yeah, definitely. The vaporizer is a noisy bugger. I think it's got problems. I mailed you some pictures. Did you? Alright, I'll have a look. I was really surprised. It might just be valves. I'd heard that they were noisy before. In fact, does Taylor not have one? Who was on a minute ago? He was talking. I think he's got a red one somewhere. He says it's just so noisy you can't use it. The one I've got, the first thing I did when I turned it on, it was silent. So I don't imagine there's very much in it. I think it's quite a simple amp, sort of like. But I don't know. They can be noisy. I have heard they're noisy, but I mean, maybe Laney's noisy as well. It could just be needing a valve. I don't know. And saying that, the one I've got, the guy never used it. The Vailton GP5. I don't really know what it is. I don't know. There seems to be an awful lot of easy ways to do things. I was talking to Craig, the guitarist in the Sabbath band, and he was like, in all sensibleness, we should both be turning up with, just using like a pedal. Where's your amp? Oh, it doesn't need it, I've got this. Which makes it much more sensible and easier for doing gigs and stuff like that. But we're a Black Sabbath band, and part of the thing is volume and just moving air. You know what I mean? It's like a Geezer Butler sound comes from having your amp up too loud and really whacking the strings. Hey Andrew, how's it going? It's fun as playing my wah-wah pedal. It's sort of it. It's one of those things that, again, a little bit like this, I was talking about slide guitar earlier on, or playing the banjo. I quite fancied playing the banjo, but I don't want to play shit in the banjo. I just want to be able to go ba-ding, ba-ding, ding, 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 ding. I want to be able to do that, but not enough to spend lots of time working out how to do that, which is a wee bit like that with the wah-wah as well for me. Not put enough in it. Oh. Hey, how's you? How's it going? I'm doing great. How's Dunoon? My boat's still in Dunoon. I will be getting it back though. Well, next year plan, boat, yes. You probably drive past it every day when you're going to Sandbank. Oh, the coolest boat in the world. A Gitjo or a Banjatar. It was a Banjatar. Yeah, hey expats. The Steam team is continuing. Spike the likes. Doesn't tell me how many people. 30 people. I'm getting more people than normal. And I'm playing an acoustic bass. So I mean, actually getting anybody to watch somebody play an acoustic bass is quite an achievement. No, Stevie, the problem is I sold the banjo I had. I bought a banjo a few years ago. It was only a tenner. I had to drive to Edinburgh for it though, so it didn't really work out that well. And it needed tuners were missing, so I bought tuners and strings, and I think I bought a bridge to build it up. And then as I was waiting for them, I went to my pal Peg's house, couple of days later that weekend, I was up here, hey, Pete, you've got a banjo, don't you? Can I get it out? I've just bought a banjo. I want to see how it works, to work it out, and we're playing this thing, and I just don't like the sound of it at all. It just sounds like you've made a guitar. So it's like you're trying to play, even if you get the chords, it just sounds like you're playing it on something that you made out of an ice cream tub and some elastic bands. It's not a pleasant sound, and therefore all my enthusiasm for putting the banjo I had back together again and play it just went out the window, and it just basically went in the attic, and that's where it stayed ever since. Knows how to play the banjo but doesn't. Actually moved out to doing a wee bit now and live in Greenock. Oh well, if it's an upgrade I've no idea. The thing about I worked in Greenock for 6 months building a factory called Sercom just up behind the I can't remember, it was a Tesco, the big Morrison's, or big Tesco, whatever it is, right at the front. And I think about, one of the things I always feel about Greenock is, see Helensburgh. Helensburgh looks like the fabled land. It's not, but you looks over there and it's always, but I think it's maybe because the buildings are white and the sun's maybe more likely to be shining on it. So I just remember being in Greenock looking over at the lovely, and even Helensburgh, it's got a nice sounding name to it. Greenock doesn't, and also when you're in Helensburgh and you look over at Greenock, it's always raining, but I mean that might just be chance. Right, cheers Jess, thanks a lot. I will have a shot at trying to do a fretless bass at some point. Dueling Banjos, that's the one that's the one song I can play on the one song I can play in the banjo, I suppose. There's a lot of adverts interrupt your live stream. I used to have a thing that told me that I could skip them. Yeah, so what I did was I'm thinking I'm able to monetize it because I'm not smoking on stream anymore. I will sort all this stuff out at some point. Repurposing old knackered banjo, turning it into a 3-string cigar box, the GGD. The problem is with the GDG, well, maybe not without a slide. I've got a super cigar box thing, and all I can play on it is In My Time of Dying by Led Zeppelin, no matter what I do. The whatever I did sounded like In My Time of Dying. I would try it at all. I just ended up playing that all the time at different speeds, so I got annoyed. Oh, Jeff, I saw that. I quite like that guy as well. I wonder if I have a bit more north. For me, actually north, not just North England, but beyond that. Although you can get an awful lot more north than I can. Although actually where I am just now, I'm probably in the north quarter of Scotland, population-wise. So I'm further north than, Stirling's above me. But Edinburgh and Glasgow and all that are all definitely south. An EVH Phase 90 hand-built phaser with Scriptura pedal from Hello Sailor Effects. Hello Sailor Effects, really. Yeah, that was one of the first ones. Of course, I know. There's some very fine people. At least one in Greenock, or at least two. Sweaty Greenock. We don't slack off Greenock. But when you're in Greenock, it does always look like it's sunny in Helensburgh. You're well north of most Europeans and all Americans. I don't think I'm north of Americans. I don't know, actually. I don't think. I think I'm quite north considering. Are we not more? I think Dundee, which is, I don't know, probably as the crow flies 20 miles north of me just now, but obviously a bit more east, is in line with Moscow, I think. But because of the Gulf Stream, we are wetter and warmer than that. So Scotland kind of seems to be, if you just go straight across to Norway, it's much colder there. And even Joachim in Sweden, I don't think he's probably that much more north than me. Hugely, like 100 miles or something like that. Not 1,000 miles, probably. But it's I'm feeling a little bit cold. I've got a feeling that I might get snowed in here. No, but I did like that Andertons are taking on that the other hairy guy, starting up his own YouTube channel, helping him. We should get me on. I'm always up. Well, to be honest, Andertons is one of the very few guitar channels I actually watch. It doesn't seem as staged as everything else. Gulf of America streamer, there you go. Yeah. I don't know about Hello Sailor Effects. They sound a little bit yeah, closer to Alaska than North America, really? Wow. I suppose it just kind of depends on, you know, like where wind, the way the wind blows. The answer is blowing in the wind, I'm sure, yes. So much gear in chat. Hey, Shaky Blues, first saw ACD said the stiff upper lip. It was a picture disc I had of it. Moscow in the Shire is the same attitude as the other one. There you go. I didn't. So we're actually further north than Moscow. Yes. I bought my. In fact, I think I've still got it. I bought my Torque 30-watt PA 1x12 combo in Moscow. Did you see what Trump said about Scotland? Nobody gets attacked with a baseball bat. Well, I suppose you'd have to specifically go and buy a baseball bat. I have seen them, but I don't think it's not something you find in everyone's garage. Oh, you've actually been to Anderton's? I don't know. I would hope so. I think Lee Anderton's I think it's all him basically. The other guys who work there, you know, that's their job, so it's kind of understandable. But he's a bit, I don't know. Maybe just try to be cool. But I think it's like he's done something that he likes, and he's tried to put the humour and stuff into it, and it's done him well. So well done, you know, totally. But it's like he can't change now. If he did go the super commercial, doing what everyone else says, and you know, route, it'll just be the same as all the other YouTube channels, which I can't really be bothered watching. I get bored as soon as I start noticing the jump cuts and the buzzwords. I'm out. It's like they're reading off a script, and you're like, right, so we'll look up this guitar. Right, here's the words I'm going to say, and it's like, no, I'll play the guitar and tell you it's shite. All the people answers turn my stomach. I like Lee himself, but not particularly anyone else. All right, okay, there you go. Yes, I think there is something to do with St. Irish Pilot. That's there was two co-ops in Multinacampsie. One of them was a wee. They're only 20 yards apart. One of them was a Scot Mid, one was a co-op. And the co-op was like, it was just normal staff, but the Scot Mid one, everyone in it was funny, because I think the guy who hired everyone was funny, therefore chose folk he liked. You know, you're stuck in a wee shop with somebody all day, only going to pick folk that are a little bit on the odd side, you know what I mean? You wouldn't go to Anderton's and make a video too far and expensive? Well, if you're getting paid for it. What's a story about somebody being saved from a dog attack by passerby with a baseball bat? Right, there you go. I've actually got which I got in Paisley from the Daily Record. It was a Slasher caught buying Bottle of Bucky, so I'd put a picture of Slash over the ER. That'll be on the wall next door for Slash caught buying Bottle of Bucky. Question with the chat, that'll benefit both me and Malcolm. That's a corporate talk there. Is everyone selling or using these? You get several pedal boards to sell. Any pointer, especially Glasgow, Scotland based, because I know Malcolm has a bunch of guitars to upload him and he'd be counting your 40. Yeah. You buy from them, just can't stand them, especially Lee Chapman and Danish. Yeah, no, apparently I was told not to buy them. Craig calls them bastards because they class where he stays on the south side as Highlands and Islands, so it's an extra 20 quid for a delivery. He's in Glasgow, like Glasgow postcodes, whatever it is he is blah 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 Glasgow, and Anderton's for some reason charge him an extra 20 quid per delivering it because it's Highlands and Islands. Highlands, I'm still in the lowlands here. Highlands are, I don't know, 3 miles that way, being Highlands. How the Civic is doing great, touchwood. No, I'm really enjoying it. I was at the car boot sale this morning I left at 5:30, pitch dark, well, it wasn't freezing, it was 4 degrees, and the heated seat kicked in about a mile. The heated seat's amazing. Get 3 Joe's pedals. 2 weekly live stream, oh dear. I don't think I could drink 2 bottles of Bucky a week. Anyone see Dave Simpson from other YouTube channels I don't watch? I did see he was having a moan the other day about how his YouTube channel was dying. I don't know. No, but East Coast Telly is the one. The thing is that, see, I don't know, 5 years ago, like, got a telly, a P90 in the neck, lovely, whereas East Coast just put a P90 in the neck and now it's less exotic because they've got them in it. Fire station burns down. Anderson's pedal camp where somebody's doing a range of relic pedals. Wow. It's the relics thing, isn't it? I'm always amazed at the things, how battered some guitars get. People, I think you've got to be intentionally doing a lot of things. My SG's like that. My SG was only like 4-year-old when I bought it, and it's just absolutely fucked. I think you've got to be throwing it about and literally going, oh, I'm going to pure bash my guitar because it looks cool when you're playing, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just not just somebody being careless. Heated seats are the best things ever. Irish Pilot, I could never go back. It wasn't on my list of things I needed in a car. Things I did need in a car was I was going for power steering. I wanted back doors, so I wanted like a 5-door with a hatchback type thing, or back doors, back seats anyway. I didn't want a 3-door, and it had to have an MOT. That was really all I wanted. Although I did get a wee shot. Andy gave me a lift home in his car, and he didn't have central locking, which seemed annoying. So I wanted central locking. You know, it's like, and these are not things that are features in a car these days. When back, 20 years ago, those were features. They're standard things on all cars now. Hey Sloaney, how's it going? I haven't broken anything in the car. The car's fine. It's doing well. I don't think I've actually broken anything on it yet. The parcel, the map reading light is still a bit intermittent when you kind of press it and it sort of comes on and doesn't come off, but it did that when to be honest, I've not used it. Not because it doesn't work, I've only tried to use it. The one on the left works, so if I really wanted an internal light. And one of the parking sensors on the front is showing an error, which I've not fixed. Apart from that, they were already broken though. I saw Dave Simpson addressing Will Baldus. It's really bad. I'm sorry, I know it's really bad. I mean, I'm okay maybe losing it a bit, but there is a point where you basically just buy a hat or just don't have long hair anymore. Yeah. I don't know, see, it's like his videos kind of look a wee bit on the surface a little bit like mine. Just the idea, I like the idea of doing this. The stand in front of a TV screen where I can see what's going on and then just winging it, basically. I want to do that. I am going to be upgrading. I'm getting a phone and a camera and a laptop to go up to 4K, and I'm looking at an editing machine and stuff like that, but I'm not going to use it. I could do videos like everyone else's, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be a little bit... I'll streamline it, but it won't be through editing. Fuck editing. I can't handle it. See, when you get someone that's like pure... Yeah, so here's a guitar here, and it jumps every sentence, and it's like... It's so unnatural because there's not any gaps for breathing. I totally can't watch that shit. Battered Fender Mike McReady signature Strat last month. I don't know. Make sure you get the underside washed. Yes, I know, I will do. Right, carry with your leads. There you go. Your videos are more relaxed around your mates talking about guitars. Yeah, well, let's be honest, it's the easiest way of doing it. But I just feel that when I probably spent the same amount of time doing my one video every day that are all half an hour long as somebody who edits it down and does one a week. You know what I mean? It's like, because, and and scripts it, make sure that it takes a second take. I mean, I do occasionally need a second or third take, and that is because the mic wasn't on or something like that. That's when I do a second take. I just leave it fucking in. A NAM Relic telly by Palier. It was totally awfully done. You could see the imprint of the same tool point over and over. It was like Relic under the hardware and pickguard. I mean, reasons for relicking a guitar. It's got some really bad dents in it. Like, really bad. It's like it's a brand new guitar and it's got some really bad dents in it. So I'm going to relic it to make it look like it doesn't have too big dents in it. That's it. I am not a relic person. I have guitars that look like they've been relicked, but they've actually just been worn. Vids are natural, yeah, but it's better now I've sorted out the audio a bit. That's better, so it'll be better if I'm in a higher resolution. And once I've got my better room set up, the request that YouTube not send me the AI videos, can't stand them, but more younger folk love it. I know, I get it, Ben. It's the AI when it's like somebody's made a documentary on, I don't know, let's say Mick Jagger, and he's talking about the Exile on Main Street album. So basically, you just type in AI documentary on Mick Jagger talking about the album Exile on Main Street, and then it's just that, and then it's got the talking, and it goes like that, and it speeds up a little bit, and it's just like, no, fuck that. Keep it simple. Yes, there's an element of that, Joachim. I want to keep it just. I just want my setup. I love the idea of just having this permanently set up and able to just go, right, I'm going to do a video, turn the amp on, plug the guitar in, tune it, turn on the computer, I'm on the screen, record. That's what I want to do. Even if it's just to do the actual recording of the video before it goes on to editing and doing all the other shit to it. I have a road mode for the Joe Strummer one for a few years now, an excellent guitar. Yeah, well, I've got other light bulbs, Sloaney. It's just that I don't have. Actually, you'll be very impressed with that. Like, Jen found it. It totally matches the Carlton amp with the basket weave on it. I could turn on that light, but it'll burn my forehead. Should probably go into guitar now. I've been playing acoustic bass for long enough. And now onto the guitars that never went into the container. These were not in storage. Some of them were deemed too fancy. This one, I've not actually dug the corker out yet. I'm totally sure I've got it. Like the live one, that's kind of, yeah, but I mean, just with that, but the thing is I can still do the live video, but if I can have like a couple of cameras running and switch between them, but I've already recorded it, so I've recorded it the same way, basically, as I'm doing just now, but having a thumbnail at the start, and having like a GoPro or something, and I can switch between them, but I can just record it the same way I'm doing it. I'm doing it fine. You start watching Scott Grove. I genuinely, I'd been doing YouTube for a couple of years before I saw Scott Grove, and it was like, that guy's doing the same thing as me. Although I think I'm actually technically I've moved beyond him with the having a mic and a better camera, and actually my whole body, my whole upper half, rather than just being my chest that's in the videos. But I do like him. You got to rock, Mr. Whitesnake. There's it's like people talk about there being an option to rock. There's no option to rock. You got to rock or just die. There's nothing in the middle. Used to watch Dave Simpson and Trogley. I gave up on Trogley, and I never really watched Dave Simpson. I don't know why. Maybe because he was doing something too similar to me. I'm just going to start the second bottle of Bucky. Where's Chrissy Katz anyway? What a dick. Sitting there, you can dish it out, but it doesn't turn up. Bottle number 22. It's like not slowing it. You have to pay for the TARP channel. It's like yeah, you got to watch. But no, obviously I watched Mr. Whitesnake. I used to watch he's given up now. Foxy as well. When he was doing anything other than a Les Paul, which was annoying because 3/4 of it, or 90% of his videos were on Les Pauls. Oh, yeah, still quite nice. And that's that Bucky's bought from a shop over there, whereas I bought it in the Co-op. It was £11.25. In that shop, it was £9.60. So I'll go to that shop. I've not done the full circuit of Scythe to see which the cheapest shop was. Although £9.60 rings sounds like. You started watching Trogley when you saw his new house. Yes, I know what you mean. Who's the guy? He's a big YouTuber. He's a total shill. And Fender had paid him to go down and play Eric Clapton's guitar or something like that. And he was driving. You should see his car, and you're just like, he's running a fucking YouTube channel, and it's like there was so little content in his video. So little content. It was like I don't know. I used to get it with him. I used to watch Man vs. Food. But you got a very American way of doing it, and it's like, so it fits in a half-hour slot, and at the start it tells you what's going to happen in the episode for the first 4 minutes, and then it goes into the first story, and then it tells you what's going to happen after the adverts at the end, and then there's the adverts, and then it comes in and it tells you what you missed before the adverts, and then it tells you, and it's like basically I think there's maybe about 7 minutes of actual content in the half-hour slot, and the rest of it is telling you what's going to happen last week, what's happening next week, what you've just seen 2 minutes ago, and what's going to happen in 5 minutes' time. But I didn't like that guy with his car. He was so smug that I just like that. Yes, it's that. Yeah, obviously I've got my PR, and he's just got like a PRS and a dick. I don't know, Trogley. I suppose it got very snobby very quickly, but it just depends on what you're used to. You must get into that situation. I will never be there, by the way, where it is, oh, look at this. This is an interesting Les Paul. It's $6,000, you know what I mean? It's like, well, to be honest, I'm not really interested in any Les Paul at $6,000. I'm interested, Trogley should be turning it with this. This is so much more exciting to me, even though I know what it is and I own it. This is more exciting than any of the guitars you can buy now. It's not expensive. It would be if you tried to buy it, just because of the colour. But I think it wouldn't matter how much money. If I won the lottery a year, I would have more Roadsters. I mean, I don't think very much I would have. I wouldn't be interested in buying Gibsons and Fenders and shit like that. I just don't think it's worth it. Well, it's not worth it. It's worth it if you think it is. How it makes you feel, those things doesn't make you. If it makes you play better, it's a placebo. I still I remember when I started watching bands, when I started playing the guitar, having a certain amount of respect for someone who could be up there with a Squire Strat, absolutely kicking ass and going yes, and then you would get some guy who had the $2,500 Les Paul and was strumming Oasis chords, and you're like, the fucking point. It doesn't make any difference. No Gallagher could play that Encore Strat or any one of his £10,000 guitars and he'll sound exactly the same. Strummy, strum, distorted. It doesn't matter. There's no point. You love Les Pauls. There's only so many times that you say to it. But the thing is, it's like, I get it. If you've never played, if you're not really into guitars, and it's like, instantly you're going to go, oh, it's a Stratocaster, oh, it's an exciting American one, and it's a Les Paul. But once you've seen 10, 15, 20. What's that? I remember when I was staying in Lindsay, I used to have a staircase, a loft conversion, and the staircase had, I don't know, maybe 20 guitars on like racks on the way up, and some folk come round, and I remember I got a guy in tears actually. He was like that. I got a message from him going like that. It was like when he went home and he was buying a bass off me. He's like that. I'm sorry, I was a wee bit short with you. I was like, I don't think it was short. I was like that. I was overcome by your guitars. And he was like, I saw the A20 and the Roadster on it. He was just like pure. And when he got home, he was pure buzzing. And I had another guy who was like, he was mad into guitars. He wasn't. It was his pal that was buying it, but he'd come with him. And he's like that. It's like, I've been mad into guitars for 10 years. I've got like a Les Paul. These are all fucking amazing, and I have never seen any of these before. I have no idea what any of these are. I know the Washburns and this and stuff like that, which is, I find them more interesting. You have that guitar in red. I know, Mr. Whitesnake. The thing is, it's like this. I bought this because of the colour. When you say wine red, you don't have the one with the wine red middle bit and the white. There's one that's, this is a black pearl. There's a red pearl, wine pearl. That's got a sort of browny bit in the middle rather than the sort of the Roadster blue colour. Let's see there. Can't really. Again, it's one of those ones. If I get the angle right, you can see the grain in the maple top. Oh. Oxblood, that was a thing, mate. What do you call it? Jeff Beck's one, wasn't it? Has he not just released that again? A Jeff Beck guitar? But entertaining people seems a living, and I care more about moving people by making a connection on stage than I do about exotic gear. Yeah, oh, definitely. I just don't think it. I think, I mean, to the vast majority, if I turned up playing a gig with this, the vast majority of people are just going to assume it's some mad super custom shop amazing guitar. They're not going to know that this is a production, well, just a standard guitar from its day. They're just going to go, oh, fuck it, what was that? Pure exotic, you know, it's like, rather than just being another Strat or a Les Paul. I found it was a bit... Do I believe that a good amp and the ability to play? Well, I suppose a good amp it does. The good amp does make a difference, and the ability to play makes it. But the thing is, obviously, there's a line where you can't just go and buy the £100 Harley Benton and play it. You can get a Harley Benton, buy your £100 Harley Benton, pay a couple of £100 to a luthier, or do it yourself, make it play, and then it should be all right. But it does, yes. This is the first Ibanez ever to have a licensed Floyd Rose. It's got Ibanez The Edge. 1986 was when the Floyd Rose lost the patent, which meant you could license it. So 1986, 1985, this guitar had the Ibanez whatever version was, but didn't fit. Unsure about your Mockingbird, playing it a lot, trying to get used to it, and miss your other guitars. Did you lose other guitars to get it? I have a Mockingbird. I find that the spike here kind of sticks a wee bit into my chest. It's a really nice guitar. It's a bit Gibson-y though. It's a bit like maybe a bit like an SG somewhere, doesn't it? It's not like, I don't mean shape-wise, but it sits. And it's much thicker and it's a different shape and all that, but it's got an SG-ness to it. I don't know what it is. I need to dig it out. I should probably sell it. You saw Baby Mouse in the dojo? Yeah. On the mushrooms tonight then, Mr. Whitesnake? The problem with stripping it down and trying to redo it again is, if it's not fucked, I don't. It's just there's problem. Jen's not bad at it either. If a guitar's too nice to paint, don't paint it. I don't like to destroy it. I bought guitars for bucky casters, and a black Strat. Fucking world's full of them, but if it's nice, I kind of don't want to ruin it. Nah, just not playing my other guitars, trying to force myself to get used to the Mockingbirds. It might make sense to you one night. They're kind of funny. There's some guitars that you just play and they're great, and other ones you have to work at. Or too old to do a Floyd Rose user apprenticeship. The thing about the Floyd Rose thing is, everyone's got mental stories about what a shit time they had with a Floyd Rose, but that's never been someone who knows how to work it, or someone been a little bit on the someone who can, that door's come off its hinges, I'll just fix it. Not that person, you know what I mean? I can put a shelf up. It's like I'll try a guitar with a Floyd Rose. There's a Harley Benton for £125. I'll buy that to try out a Floyd Rose. It's like a Scholler or an Edge Floyd Rose costs like £300, right? So you're buying a £150 guitar, which has got the whole guitar, pickups and everything, and a Floyd Rose in it. A good Floyd Rose does stay in tune. And as long as nobody's been in trying to fix it themselves without knowing what they're doing, they're generally pretty good. I mean, I don't even notice it in this guitar. You can completely ignore it. And you notice that wee bit when you batter chords. It's got a wee bit of a brrr there when you pure batter it. I find that certain songs go with certain guitars, yes, or even certain styles, yes. No, I totally agree, Sloaney. Maybe just finding out what it is the Mockingbird does. The thing about the Mockingbird is, you might not know this, but the reason it's called the Mockingbird is because it could copy the sound of all other guitars. It was the first BC Rich that had all the switches and shit in it. They had the Seagull and the Eagle before that, but they didn't have the mad switches. But the Mockingbird it could mimic a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, because it had phase and coil splits and a Veritone. It could do a Les Paul and a 3/3. It's like, so that's what. So it's ultimately a super versatile guitar. It does look like it's a metal monster, which it sort of can be, but it's not what it is. Although again, it might depend on which one it is you've got. The one I've got is a Japanese one, so it's kind of. Even the Wave, which I sold, and the Bitch are a bit like that as well. It's not the guitar it looks like, although I think maybe more moderns will be, but the original ones and the Japanese ones from the early 80s, although it is neon pink and painted like, shaped like someone who's fallen off a building, or a Batman, a slice of bat wing, it is totally able to do anything. You can play Sultans of Swing on it and stuff. It's kind of bizarre. Never force yourself on a guitar. The RG30, I take it you mean the RG530, is not my favourite, and I got a Lodesters. Yes, I get it. I'm not sure. I think this one, to be honest, partly to do it's the pearl white, and it's the fact the back's white as well. It's awful fucking cool. It makes a difference. Oh. You hit the bridge of your Floyd with the heel of your hand, all right? Aye. Actually, mine's a hardtail, so it's a completely different kettle of fish. But yeah, no, it's a strange one. But you do get that sometimes with guitars. I don't know what to do on this guitar. It's like, and even before when I started, before I had Strats, it's like I bought a Squire one at one point. It was a turquoise one. It was really good, and I remember playing Sultans of Swing, worked that out on it, and it was like, so that gave me something because I was playing Sultans of Swing. The maybe more. It made sense on the Strat, but the Black Sabbath and stuff didn't. Now, I'm very happy to play Black Sabbath on a Strat, but it's a case of working your way in. Same thing happened with the telly. There's a case of working it out. Where the fuck are the Parker fly guitars these days? I don't know. It's like it's a technology thing, though, isn't it? I was talking to someone. It was Jen had. In fact, I've actually got it, a Zoom pedal thing, and it was like, I can't remember what it is, but I bet you it was like £400 or £500 20 years ago, and because it's technology. You know, if at that time, 20 years ago, you bought a £400 or £500 guitar, it would feasibly be worth more than that now. Whereas now, you know, the effects pedal's worth nothing. Well, 10 or 20 quid. I mean, I remember Korgs and stuff being £100 and £200, but I mean, if you look up, you know, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, you can pick up a multi-effects unit for 20 or 30 quid. And it's like, this is one that was a £500 or, you know, folk used to gig it type thing. They're going to run out, whereas, okay, this is a 1986 guitar. This is still an ultra modern guitar. Do you know what I mean? From 1986. What's changed? What does the new, whatever you call it, Ibanez, blah blah blah. You know, it's got DiMarzio pickups now, right? You know, but physically, nothing really. You know what I mean? So you're better buying guitars than you're buying amps. So then again, you get valve amps, which are basically even things like Matt Orange and stuff like that. Okay, it's not an old amp, it's not from the 70s, but it's just that circuit. It doesn't do anything else. Oh. But the Parker was just too modern. They'll start being cool. I think the problem with the Parkers is they were never cheap. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Mr. Westing is like talking about ultra modern. It's like, this is still an ultra modern guitar as far as I can see it. Coil splits, Floyd Rose, 24 frets, pearl paint. But I never play up high. I should. That's how you can tell a good Floyd Rose. You can go brrr. Still use a jumper. It's great, people. I think it's just a little bit. I feel a wee bit like that with the synthesizers as well. Something about turning knobs is cool. You know, like, so you've got your pedal, you've got volume and tone and distortion. Oh, you can turn it and you press the button and there's a switch there. Even something that's exactly the same circuit, that does exactly the same sound, but it's a push button thing. And you go, alright, volume, and then you turn it, and then you change the menu to tone, and then you adjust it, and then you change. That's not the same. Even if it's the pedal's digital, having the actual proper controls on the front makes a huge difference to it. Right, Pearl Blue one, yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Whitesnake, but Pearl Blue does not match the sunburst that goes from white to the inside. In fact, I have actually seen a guitar nicer than this. They made an Ibanez DT350 Destroyer, which is the one I've got, but I mean, never had any paint on it. That's why it's snakeskin. You know, the Destroyer with the big, like a Star Destroyer, that in this colour, and it was 1,800 quid. I saw that. I don't think they made very many of them, but you can get an Ibanez Destroyer in black pearl. Rather nice. Oh. But you're right there, X-Paps, you're talking about getting cheap stuff, and I'm selling a couple of amps, and I've had them on Gumtree or on Facebook Marketplace for a move. You know, I'm selling these things for 20 quid. You know, like a 30 watt Marshall and a wee Laney version of it and a Park one, and you're like, people aren't buying that because people, oh, I've got this app on my phone, I've got the Spark. The Spark does not You know, how much time you're spending fanning about with pedals to get the sound you want is fine if you spent a lot of time playing the guitar. If you're spending more time trying to get that Dave Gilmour sound for Wish You Were Here rather than actually playing it, because Dave Gilmour could play Wish You Were Here on this guitar the way it's set up right now and it would sound like it without using any of the proper effects. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not, the effects aren't, if you can play it really, really fucking well, then the effects will take it that last 1% to make it perfect. If instead you're playing it from the book, 1, 2, 3, it doesn't, if you've got the exact sound, it still sounds shite. Sorry. It's all in the fingers. But I mean, I do understand it. It's one of those things, it's like, I don't know if it's like an autistic spectrum thing where it's like seeking validation, not wanting to be outside the box or maybe be laughed at for liking something different than what's the well-known thing. One of the problems I've got with Les Pauls. The Gibson Les Paul is the best guitar ever made. Oh, is it? Why? I looked up the forum, you know, it's like, but what do you think? Why do you think? I mean, it's fair enough if you think it's the best guitar ever made. Why do you think it? And you're not allowed to just quote other people saying shit about how it's got mahogany tone and all that. No. You know? Just got one of each kind of pedal. The thing is, well, Scott, I get the idea of having the multi-effects thing is more practical. You don't need power supplies, blah, 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 da, 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 da. The thing is that here you go, here is 20 pedals all at the same time. Whereas if you're buying individual pedals, you buy the tube screener. And you can mess about with just the tube screamer and then sort of fully understand what a tube screamer does, blah, blah, blah. And then you get your MXR phaser and you try that, and you try using it with the tube screamer and you start, whereas all these things are in that multi-effects unit. They're already all there. You've got everything you want in one thing. If your brain's wired in the way that you want to sit and fidget with that, then fair dues to you. I can't be bothered. Part of it is I've never really liked listening to very affected music. You know, the reason that I can play like I was very driven to play Black Sabbath because I love listening to Black Sabbath, so I wanted to play like that. So I'm very driven to do that. I'm not very driven to play, you know, U2 because I don't like that sound. I can appreciate it, I can enjoy it, but I'm not driven to work it out. A lot of the young team don't even have amps. Oh, of course, yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. You know, the idea of why you... The thing is like, do they know what it's like to stand in front of me? When I'm playing the bass in the Sabbath band, I'm playing through, well, it's an 8x10 cabinet, 200 watt EKS amp I'm playing through in the studio. When I hit the chord, the notes, it's not the sound coming out the amp, it's a wave. It's like a percussion wave that comes out, bong, and the bass, because you're hitting it, because you're battering an open E, there's an E coming out of there like fuck, which makes it infinitely sustained, and the whole bass is like that. It's entirely different to play. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting there with headphones on, it will never do that. It will not do that. So it's like, is that part of it? And I noticed it very much playing in the drop C stuff in the Sabbath band, but it's the same thing with the guitar. It interacts with what's getting blasted at it. But also, as saying, I'm knocking pedals, not knocking them because I've got lots of guitars, that's fine. And okay, you can argue that, does this guitar really sound that? Is there anything this does that, you know, like, I don't know, that one, the Kraken or whatever, doesn't do? And you're going, well, not really. You know, ultimately, okay, this one, that was a bad example because this one does have a Floyd Rose on it, so it does do things that, it does dive bombs which you can't do in a hardtail, but not, it doesn't really matter, but I'll pick this guitar up and I will play different things on it than if I picked up a Telecaster. I wouldn't play it the same way. This can do everything a Tele can do, and a Tele can do pretty much everything this can do, but my approach to it is altered, and it's the same with pedals. If you've got a new pedal, you're really enjoying it, it does something you've not heard before, that might inspire you to go in a different direction. Oh, it's a new, oh, that's interesting, and you're off. And if that's what's happening, then I totally get why you want more pedals. You could also read the manual and get to grips with shaping their sound. A lot of them can be quite intuitive, but still not as fun as having individual pedals. But you know, yeah, well, totally, yeah. I suppose it depends. It's not. I mean, I found them. I wanted to have all the individual pedals just to see what it was. Do you know what I mean? So I bought, like, I think the first one I bought was a chorus pedal, phaser, and it only had one knob on it. So I really enjoyed using it just as my effect pedal. So I would just use it for different things. It kind of went out of favour with me. I don't use it anymore, but I mean, I do get it. Sometimes it just gives you something different. I've been playing the guitar for half an hour, using just clean and distorted. Well, I try a wee bit of chorus on it. Oh, and then suddenly you're away off on a wee journey. It's fine. I know a sound guy that thinks everyone comes to see him, not the band. Well, there you go, yeah. I just remember it being I don't know, maybe it's just from the era I was in, trying out for a lot of bands, or going to see a lot of bands. Like, you know, we're talking, I got to be talking 30 years ago now. We probably are talking nearly 30 years ago, when effects units were a relatively modern thing, and there was a lot of bands, especially, you know, playing in the student union and stuff, you know, shit bands, and, you know, literally that was how they played the guitar, but they had going on all the effects on the chords, and there was so many people that played like that. It's like, oh, I'm not very good in the guitar, so I just turn all the echo up really loud so you can't hear it. And it's like, can hear it, mate. It's like, if you at least you just had a decent acoustic sound, at least it would sound like something. But as soon as you get, and then you've got the delay that isn't in time correctly, you know, there is a way of using delay where it goes dun 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 dun, but there's certain ways to play with that delay that works. You can't just be strumming away with a random amount of delay on it. An unreasonable fear of plugging a guitar into a computer shaped like a pedal. I don't know. I mean, ultimately it's a sine wave, isn't it? It's just a wave file. So, like what comes out, it's just a frequency wave. So, a sound wave. So, ultimately, does it matter how you create that wave? Not really. We're getting kind of into synthesis here, like the original thought of a synthesizer, which is just meant to create other sounds. It's like you think of, I'm guilty of this. I always thought that, synthesizer, you think of, you know, Sister Disco and, you know, Won't Get Fooled Again as two Who examples. You think, that's a synthesizer sound. Synthesizers don't have a sound. That's a sound you can make with a synthesizer, but a synthesizer can sound like a guitar, it can sound like a piano, it can sound like a dog barking. All you're doing is synthesizing. You're taking a sine wave or a couple of sine waves and modifying them to make other sounds. Gunshot, motorboat, you know, all these things are all just by taking the sine wave and creating whatever sound it is you want. I don't know where I was going there. I would like a multi-pedal or katana amp if ever gigged. I don't know. See, the thing is, I just don't. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy just having distorted and clean, or even less than that, having a decent wee tube amp that if I turn the volume down to half and hit it softly, it's clean. If I turn it up to full and hit it hard, it's distorted. That I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else to think about, basically. That means I can just concentrate on playing it. You know, there's so much different effects you can learn by how you hit the strings and how long you hold them for, beyond having a different sound. And I learned this from using the MIDI guitar pedal, which I was, you know, I've got the MIDI guitar, which I need to dig out, not the MIDI guitar pedal, the Casio guitar. So you're trying to play, you know, you're on piano mode, right? And you do that. that doesn't sound like a piano because you can't strum a piano, so what you've got to do is pluck the bow. Not working well there, but so what I found was I was working out getting a pure amazing synth sound, and then playing, I don't know, some Enola Gay or whatever it is, on the guitar with the synth sound, and realising that I was having to play a certain way to make it sound like a piano or to make it sound like a violin, playing the guitar a certain way with that sound. And what I found was that, see, if you took away the whole MIDI thing and I just played clean guitar or distorted guitar, but used the same technique to make it sound that I was making it sound like a piano, if I could sound like a piano because of the way I'm playing it, yeah, there's an awful lot in it. Vibrato with fingers. Vibrato with tarp. I'm really missing not being able to smoke. That's a bit of a bastard. There may be an intermission coming up at some point, or maybe of that the Monty Python thing just goes, but everyone can go for the toilet. Yeah, experts, but see, like, you must see from a point of view as well. You set your delay properly at 60,000 divided by the BPM of your chosen track, and then it can be halved or doubled to form a different vibe, right? Yes, I 100% I get that. That doesn't sound pure super sexy and cool though. Do you know what I mean? Along the lines of, yeah, just got my Marshall amp, I just stick it into the lead channel and then crank it, and then that's like pure rock and roll, macho, like that. 60,000 divided by the BPM, and you're into sort of, it's not very cool. By all means do that, but don't say it out loud. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, it comes down to whether you're knowing which modes it is you're playing in. Is it cool to know that? Sort of. If it's obviously going to happen at some point, I'm going to end up having to learn how to read music and understand what's actually going on. Hold your breath. It's like... Was that just holding your breath because obviously when you're smoking you're not taking in the right amount of oxygen? Can make sense, yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not. Delay is more fun if you go to 3/8 and 9/16, stuff like that. I don't know, it just depends what the sound is you're after, and it's ultimately, it comes down to, I don't really like the sound of delay, so, I mean, I've played, and I have played through the Strymon pedals, which, I mean, they're amazing, it's utterly unbelievable, but, again, it's like me playing Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo. There's so much to do, I can't cope with it. F0, 99, yes, I can do that. Left, right, lean in our direction, accelerate, brake and boost, yes. A 3-minute race, 3 laps around the track, and then the end of the game, and then you can do another game, or you stop. Yes, get that. That's plugging into my amp here, playing some songs and stopping. It's not, right, here's your Zelda thing, here's 5,000 different things you can do just now. Oh no, we're not telling you, just do whatever you like, and it's like, can't be bothered with that. The power of Christ compelled you, what? Do you want it set correct or not? Yeah, well, there you go, X-Paps. Yeah, no, I get it, there's different, it is, it's just, you know what I mean, I'm just saying it's not super cool. That doesn't have any sort of romance to it. It's like up here, yeah, you just, set up a polyrhythm and you're like, it's just not, it doesn't sound cool. Used to be a fiend too. Of course you don't smoke or drink, nobody does. I was only doing it for effect, to look cool anyway. I wasn't inhaling it. Run Like Hell by Pink Floyd. Yeah, but again, it's one of those things, like Run With Hell, I got put off that song by hearing so many people trying to play it with their Korg affectionates. It's not the song's fault, it's not Pink Floyd's fault. But it's one of those things that, again, if you're going to play that song, a bit like, see when you get people, you always get, see the number of bass players, or people who are quite good guitarists, but they're, you know, they're sort of more muso-y, you know, they do songwriting and they can play the keyboard a bit and all that stuff, and you give them a bass. I was like, oh, I can play the bass, and immediately they're, and you're just like, if you're going to do that, it's got to be really good. Do you know what I mean? It's like doing a really shit version of that when the timing isn't right. It does not sound good. It sounds like you're a pure fanny going try to play flea bits, and it's like, no, that's not what good bass is. Yeah, when Flea does it, it's good, but that's because he's really good at the bass. You're not really good at the bass. Don't be playing something that you have to be really good to play. Yes, you can play the notes in the right order, but it sounds awful. The same thing with it, you're talking about learning guitar parts. Don't learn how to play all of Bohemian Rhapsody before you can play half a dozen Stone songs with 3 chords, because your Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be... It doesn't sound like it, even if you're playing the right notes. You know, you've got to be really good. My effects pedals would sound better if Gilmour played them. Of course they would, but the thing is, that's where it comes in. It's like, it's only... Well, I'm just about to go down a complete different analogy. It's like making a sandwich or something, or a nice meal, and it's like pure, yep, right, going to make an omelette. So I'm going to use Gordon Ramsay's tomato sauce, and that'll make my omelette like Gordon Ramsay's. And it's like, no, it's more to do with how much egg you put in and how long you cook it for. All that crap is way more important than having the right tomato sauce on it at the end. You know what I mean? You can have the right, it will help, but don't be spending any time thinking about what kind of sauce to put on it at the end when you actually cook it first. John Martin documentary. John Martin's another one of those. Everybody loved John Martin. Like, I'm just talking about people I knew, and that Solid Air album. And I'm going, oh, that Solid Air album's fucking brilliant. And I bought it. I don't like it at all. I don't get it. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't listened to it for ages. But it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Let's get fretless bass on it. Yuck. Steely Dan's a band I need to have a listen to. I do have a couple of records, so maybe to give it a go. They're just so universally applauded for being absolutely fantastic, and Steely Dan, the best band ever. And I hear it all over the place. I did buy the Greatest Hits album. I listened to it. It's no Black Sabbath Sabotage. Obviously, there's different elements appeal to different things. It's like you just like it, and then later on I hear something and I like it, and then I go, oh, why do I like that then? I don't listen to it and decide whether, it doesn't matter how it's constructed, or I'll listen to it, and if I don't like it, it's like, I don't really like that, and then I go, why don't you like it? And I'll think about it and go, why don't I like that? Okay. But it doesn't really matter. I don't listen to it and go, oh, that's my favourite guitar pedal that he's using, I like that. No, it doesn't matter. It's like, I either like it or I don't like it, and then later on, after that initial, I like it, I don't like it, I can then analyse it. Sometimes there is enough of a guitar thing. I remember talking to Scott about Nuno playing the guitar. I can get through some extreme songs. I don't really like the songs, but the guitar playing's that good. It can nourish me throughout the bits that are boring. If you know what I mean. Reeling in the Years, like I know that song, yeah. Do It Again's a great track, Still Don't Rock My World. I don't know, sometimes things jump out and sometimes things don't, and there is, ultimately, nobody can be right. It's you know, there's always going to be a taste thing in it. I mean, you can argue it's like, you know, something, I don't know, you can argue something along the lines of, say, like Oasis and ABBA. It's possible to like both of them, but I mean, ABBA are unarguably much, much more musical. There's much more in it than Oasis. There's no depth, but that's not, you know, doesn't matter. You can still like them both. I still think it's impossible to like Baby Metal and Oasis. I don't think it's possible to like both those bands. I doubt very much. I think if you really like one, you absolutely fucking despise the other one. It does either way. Not saying it's wrong or right. It's just the facts. As you're talking about people in Steely Dan, no, I will need to listen to it. I don't know, but then again, I never liked Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon changed for me. It didn't make any sense to me. I didn't like it. I thought it was shit. And then I bought a bootleg of it, which is, I think it was a year before they'd actually recorded the album, and it made sense. It was like Pompeii, apart from it was Dark Side of the Moon they were playing. And then when I eventually got down to actually listen to Dark Side of the Moon properly, I realised there's fuck all there. It's mad how your perceptions are very different. Because I've seen, obviously when I started listening to Pink Floyd, it was just when Pulse came out and it was on the telly, you know, the live playing Dark Side of the Moon with 3 keyboard players and 2 drummers and 5 guitarists and 10 backing singers and all the lights and stuff, and I just thought, that's fucking shite. I don't like that at all. I still can't stand, I don't like that Pink Floyd. 4 guys sitting in an amphitheatre. Yes. Get it. Love it. Oh. But then, sometimes, and it's also completely possible to change my mind. I do not want to be stuck in that situation where pride stops you saying, it's like, oh, I pure hate Radiohead. I hate Radiohead. I don't like Radiohead, but I pure hate Radiohead. And then the new song comes out and I actually like it. But I don't allow myself to like it because I've already said, no, doesn't matter who it is. If Oasis came out or if Noel Gallagher came out with a song that I liked, I would say, that song's fucking great. I pride myself in that ability to do that, and if it, so I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I like some stupid music, Crossbow. There you go. That what's the guy from Miami Vice video you sent me the other day? I mean, it was fucking awful, but it was also great. But what I found really bizarre was how loud his voice was and how much it really wasn't good at all. It's like you wouldn't do that now because now you've got auto-tune and reverb and all these things. But he was so fucking high up in the mix and just not a very good singer. Kind of bizarre. What, Jackson Brown rabbit hole? Jackson, did he not get an E at the end of his name? Dr. Mouse. I know, did he not write? He's very kind of Eaglesy. I've actually got a record, but I've never really listened to it very much. Dark Side, listen to it in a Walkman in an altered state of consciousness. There you go. I've actually got the surround sound SACD. I've actually got my surround sound system set up, and it actually works in a room this size. It's lovely. Ricky, don't lose that number. Okay, I know that one. Matt Holness as Merriman Weir is, I don't know what that is, but I mean, I don't think you can post a link. It's annoying. You might be able to see if you post that link in the comment for me announcing, or a comment after. You can't put a link in the chat, but you can put a link in the comments of the video, I think. Totally overusing this tremolo, it's great. Actually, my pal Ronnie bought a Jazzmaster, and it was not a Jaguar, a square one, spangly gold. It's pretty nice. And it was buzzing like mad. And the bridge it's like it sits on two spikes inside metal cones, and it was just rattling like mad until you actually physically had to move the bridge. But it's like the Bigsby, and I suppose to a certain extent the Strat trem, but the Jaguar trem, it's like it doesn't really do very much. But what's a much better idea is, if it doesn't really do very much, instead of having a Bigsby or a have a Floyd Rose and just move it that much. Oh, it's like a Bigsby. Listen to that Bigsby go. But it doesn't go out of tune. Or you might be like a Strat. You know what I mean? Pure. Back to the Jaguar. Bigsby. Or you can do the Floyd Rose. A created bad actor, singer, guitarist and person. Very nice. I don't know that much about him, and I never used to watch Miami Vice. I did admit I used to watch the music at the start, because at the start, during the credits, this used to happen with a lot of TV shows when I was a kid. The music was pretty good, but it was a bit where it was a big speedboat, a big scarab, giving it the jumping over the waves, and then you saw the white Ferrari Testarossa going around the thingies. I was like, oh, this is going to be great, and then the thing would start, and it's just two guys in fancy suits talking. Fuck this. You know what I mean? Whereas it was the same with the A-Team and Knight Rider for me as well, where it was like, Knight Rider, music at the start, fucking brilliant, see the car, and then talking bit, fucking blah blah blah, just shite talking. Oh, there's a car chase, here we go, away. And I was like, talking bit. Oh, the big jump, hey. The credits at the end, so I would basically watch this, I would spend so much more time watching the credits at the start and at the end because of the music than the actual fucking programme. Oh. Now I know he has an E at the end of... I think so. I'm not sure. I've got one Jackson Browne album. Again, I don't know whether he just maybe wasn't such a big hit over here. Both the Caller and Rose Trems that I have stay. I don't like the Caller. It's a bit like... If you're into the Bigsby and the Jaguar one, it's the same thing. Like, see, on a Strat Trem and a Floyd Rose... The pivot point is there, right? So when you're bending it, you're very close, or you're maybe actually a little bit inside where the fulcrum of the string is. So it feels dead connected. Whereas when you've got the Bigsby or the Jaguar one, the bridge is fixed, and you're bending it from here. So it's not bending here, it's bending here, and you're kind of... So it's a different feel completely. But if you're used to it, then it's totally fine. But again, I do get a little bit annoyed with... You can't totally ignore a Floyd Rose. I mean, okay, I can put this guitar and and play it all night and it'll not go out of tune. It's clamped. Whatever. Right? But it does have a brrr when you batter it. I don't know whether you can hear it, but I can feel it. It's going... When you it goes brrrr. It's not the same as a hardtail. Someone was talking about, we played earlier on about but what I did notice I was doing before, like, see when you do the Chuck Berry thing, so when you bend up, so you're playing the two notes there and bending this one. So that's me going. But if obviously, so when you bend up that string, you're lifting the bridge up. So you can get around that by holding on the... If you really want to do it. Waylon, is Waylon Jennings in Ringer? I don't know. If you really want a trem, do you have Caller gas? Don't like. I just don't get the Caller. I don't. It seems dead, and it's the same thing. It's a little bit like it's like pure. Oh, tremolo arm. Woo! Listen to that. Half step up and down. Nah, not a fan. In fact, I actually sold the Aria ZZ Blade Runner because the Caller had an American Caller in it. To be honest, I sold the guitar for probably less than I would have got if I just sold the Caller on its own. But no, I don't get that. I don't like the Wonder Bar either. Basically, I like a hardtail. They kind of got it right with the Telecaster, although maybe having 6 saddles. But that's the bridge. I do get that people want the whammy bar. Probably more for people who don't play the guitar yet. They think, oh, I want that because I want to use the whammy bar. And really, again, I would suggest that unless you're a super duper, I have to play the Shadows or whatever, first couple of years you don't want to have a whammy bar. Just don't. And then it'll be fucking lots of work to get it. If you wait until you're really pretty good in the guitar, then you don't have to worry about the guitar playing. Then you start using the whammy. It means you can alter what you're quite good. But if you're just starting from the start, nah. Don't get a Floyd Rose. Don't get a whammy bar. Waylon Jennings narrated the Dukes of Hazzard show and of course played. Well, there you go. I did not know that. I do quite like I can remember how to play it. There was a highwayman across the cold slows I did ride, with sword and pistol by my side, and many a brought a trouble to my trade, and I may become a highwayman again, or I may simply be a little run of rain. But I still remain. See, if I could play that song, it's a belter. But I was a dam builder across a river deep and wide, where steel and water do collide, in a town called Boulder on the mighty Colorado. I slipped and fell into the wet concrete below. Oh, it's a fucking great song. And they buried me in no tomb that knows no sound, but I am still around. I flew a starship. That's a fucking. If you've never heard the High Me Wind do that song, that. But Johnny Cash comes in, I flew a starship. Fucking yes. So raise your fist into the air. The Scorpions actually use very little whammy. I actually nearly bought. It was there 2 weeks ago and he was there last week. A guy selling records at the car boot sale. He wasn't there this week, and they've got the original Scorpions Virgin Killer record, which I've never seen before, but it's got a band cover, quite rightly band cover. And I was going to ask about it a couple of weeks ago. And I just didn't want to. I didn't want to say 30 quid or 50 quid or something. I used to be able to sing it. I used to be able to play the Highwayman. It's fucking great. That's, around the corner of Mexico. Aye, the Chris Christopherson line as well. You used to be able to sing it. I'm sure it's in B minor. It's in a stupid key. I rode a star, I sailed a schooner down the curve. I'll stop. Yeah, but live streaming, don't try and play songs you never played before or haven't played in a long time. I did go through a stage of just that song was just, it's so good, and it's Willie Nelson is fucking brilliant, and then Waylon Jennings is fucking brilliant, and then Chris Christopherson is fucking brilliant, and then there's a bit I don't like where it kind of, I am still around and around and around, that bit's a bit shit, and then out comes Johnny Cash with I flew a starship across the universe divine. Fucking love it. I can't sing high. I used to be able to sing Symptom of the Universe not that long ago, but not anymore. Do you know Big Bad John? I feel I know it from a Domestos advert when I was a kid with Big Bad Dom for Domestos bleach. Perhaps, but no, I don't know it. But I mean, again, there's some Johnny Cash. I don't know. I need to get into a bit more. I did get into a bit more of the sort of country thing. I know some of the American guys I've talked about before absolutely detest country music because you've been subjected to it so much, but I'm talking about the country music we get here, you know, your Glenn Campbell and, you know, the very peak of it in the sort of the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. I don't hate it at all. I quite like it, and I wouldn't mind being a little bit more country. I understand that if you've heard a lot of country, it can you get off it, but I mean, I don't love it all. Same as any genre, generally. I can't be bothered with slow ballady stuff. I like more up tempo and shit that moves me. I was going to say moves you, but it doesn't. Just because it moves me doesn't mean it moves anyone else. Or no, the high registers are hard. Take me through the centuries to supersonic years. Electrifying enemy is drowning in his tears. All I have to give you is a mouth that never dies. A blood of the universe. Every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245. It does sound quite good. Yes. No, there's definitely some. You protectors grew up on country music. Yes. Actually, me and my pal, when he first got Sky TV, which is we're I don't know, going back whatever. I never had satellite telly, and it was VH1. I was like, oh, we can look. There's music channel. Let's watch VH1. No, let's watch MTV. And even by that point, MTV didn't have music on all the time, whereas VH1 did. And me and my pals, we're like, we're listening, we're just getting into Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Stones and all that sort of stuff. And country, the VH1, the country music stuff was way closer to that music than the stuff that was actually on MTV when it was playing music. Like it was all gangster rap and stuff, and it's like, well. So obviously felt more of an affinity with acoustic guitars. I always remember being amazed at never really seen a black acoustic guitar before. Every fucking country song in the mid-90s, every single one, jet black acoustic guitars involved. What happens if you play a country song backwards? You try. Don't know. I do remember watching a guy playing Bar Bliss down in Kirky, and his song went, I'm a cunt, I'm a cunt, I'm a cunt, I'm a cunt, I'm a country music fan. And then there was other verses that were similar, but that was the first line, and I remember that. That's me demonetised now, but I mean, I was a country music fan, it's fine. He writes back, I'm from Greenock. I was brought up on Hank Williams and Patsy Cline. There you go. I don't even know who either of them are. I'm sure Hank Williams is good though. But these are things that I would... It's like looking at... when I'm looking through these records, quite a lot of them I got in charity shops. But they're not all shite. I thought there was only like at the last that much is your standard charity shop clobber. But there is, there's some country in there and stuff like that. That's the thing that you would get. There's a chance of getting the good country albums in charity shops here because nobody knows what they are. They weren't popular. You get your dog back, your wife back, and your truck back. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Mr. Whitesnake beat you to it by his more efficient typing. He used less words to say the same thing. Andy, it's like you get your dog back. You get woman dog place back. Bang. It's like Mr. Whitesnake wins. Spent too many words. You got to lower your what's the word I'm looking for? Coherence? Nope. Where's Greenock, Mississippi? Yes, it's the Clyde is the Mississippi of Scotland. Yeah, I suppose. I had a truck once. I just say I had a truck. There you go. Well, technically, my Land Rover was a truck. But if you're from Texas and you had a truck, it's like obviously you had a truck. Oh, do you want to see a wee bit of a preview? Doesn't have strings on it yet. Check the latest. The latest J-Packs. Look at that for Brune. Not wired yet. See that. I'm not really impressed, but I love these Ibanez basses that have got the two wooden stripes in the back because when you're playing it, that's what you see. Fuck what everyone else sees. Okay, you can look out there and look at the lovely wood and stuff like that, but that's the bit that I see when I'm playing it. So I want all basses to have a neck, a 5-piece neck with two skunk stripes in it. So when you're playing it, it's like pure, yeah, got brown stripes on the back. Just saying. Wild West of Scotland. Yeah. To be fair, there probably is a Greenock. I was really disappointed when I was in Pennsylvania. See the number of places that I've just... It's like, can you not think up other words? Do you know what I mean? It was like they were driving through and there was places just called Dundee and freaking Birmingham. Oh, no, not Birmingham, but it was just like York. Like, come on. Surely you can't love York that much that you have to have another York. Not New York. New York's already. Fucking come on. Let's have be a bit more better at naming places. There was so many places that were just like when we were driving from Newark to Pennsylvania to Harrisburg, and we were obviously I was looking at the sat nav, which had all the towns that we were kind of going past, and it really was like these are just called the same as what places here are called. You know what I mean? Oh. I now have a van. Sounds good. Yeah, having a van's pretty cool. Oh, Hank Williams III. Yeah, I've heard of that. He's just like, he's like he's quite a big guy. That's maybe not that obvious, but he's wearing he wears all denim and a cowboy hat and a beard, and it's like, which is probably a bit more obvious. But yeah, I think he's all right. I think he's a cool guy. Got brows outside. No, Sloan, the thing that got me was the full thing that you said you liked. How the fuck does that work? How can you like that hideous fucking horrible drawing and not like that? I understand if I like my guitars to be just plain black, any sort of pattern, but I don't understand how you can think that full is good and a JPAX isn't. That does not compute. That's like, oh, you don't like the steak, but you like the economy burgers that you get from in Iceland, 50 for a pound. You like them, but you don't like a steak. It's like that, you know. Howlin' Wolf was from Aberdeen, Mississippi. There you go. But I mean, it's like, it's not like it's that great a name. No, Aberdeen or whatever. To be honest, I don't even know enough country. There's not enough music. There's too much music sitting about. You've got to find stuff you want. And how do you ever listen to new music? How does anyone have a chance of like listening to new music when you can just listen to all the good stuff that's already there, and you don't even have to download it? Nah, I don't download music. I just bought the new Baby Metal album actually. They won me over with some discount code thing on eBay. It was 30 quid from the Baby Metal website plus postage, and then I went on eBay and it was 28 quid including postage. So okay, and then I was like, oh, so it ended up being 22 quid. So it was like basically a tenner less than buying it officially. Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I get probably a slightly similar reaction when someone goes like, "Oh, look at my new guitar," and it's a Sunburst Les Paul. Just, oh, I've got this. Oh, why don't you see my amazing guitar? It's like, oh, I've got an American Strat. Oh, do you? Black, white scratch plate. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I'm glad you spent £1,500 on something so exciting. Is there an Auchenshugel? Is there an Auchenshugel here? Ochtermachty is better than Ochtershugel. Auchenshugel. Because Ochtermachty's got two chs in it. Or Kirkentillach's got one in it as well. Kilsyth doesn't, but there you go. No, I think my thought with that, the full guitar is that everyone thinks it looks good. As you see wee snippets of it, when you see Eric Clapton playing it, so it's partially covered and it looks good, but see when you actually look at the actual design. The things I like about it are, I like the way it's brightly coloured, and it's an SG. But J-Paxes do hurt a little bit. I do get that. It took me a while to get into it, but I used to have... There's ones that I basically couldn't have on my wall because they hurt my head when I was trying to watch telly and I couldn't concentrate, so I had to put them literally outside. Having one's amazing. Echo Feckin. I have to say that out loud every single time. It's right at the borders, isn't it? It's just before... It's just opposite Gretna. Auchenshugel was the last stop of the trams in Glasgow, but there you go, I didn't know that. Just wait an Echo Feckin minute. No, you have to say Echo Feckin loud. Right, I'm going to give up at 10. I've decided that I've drank enough. I've still got enough for next week out of that. I'm not drinking anymore. Fucky. I'm feeling a bit spangled. So hopefully by next week I'll actually have my proper... I'm much happier standing up. I did not enjoy doing that stream last week sitting down. It doesn't actually make that much difference standing here. I'm just kind of used to it. Benny's got it jet, but I watched the last hour and catch up. Sorry, I think I've just said I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to make it 2 hours. Twat, just saying. I don't know. Twat's quite a good name. There's a really pleasant sounding street in Milton-Macapsey called Mount Pleasant Crescent. It's not absolutely lovely, but that's what you should be naming shit. Mount Pleasant Crescent. That sounds quite nice. Doesn't matter whether it is nice or not. Hardgate. That sounds fucking awful. What are you doing naming something like that? You know what I mean? Give somewhere a nice name. Not a horrible sounding name. Twecker. It's not... Twecker sounds a bit scummy, I don't know. What should I watch after this? Gladiator 2 or Mad Max Furiosa? I didn't get all the way through Gladiator 2. I got bored. Mad Max Furiosa, if you've not seen it, is fucking amazing. It's like, see, it's the same as what's it, Fury Roads. Basically, at any point in Mad Max Furiosa, right, just close your eyes for 10 seconds and pause it, and I bet you when you look at it, it's a fucking amazing poster. Every single frame in the film, pause it, and I bet you it's like, it's worthy of a poster. It's just like a pure brilliant shot. It's fucking amazing. Absolutely love it. There's a Kilsyth in West Virginia. Kilsyth will have been here first. You stand up to pee unless what would you're on one of your woman nights, or unless you're worried that you might shit yourself as well while you're at it. Yes, I get it. No, but I really enjoyed. Thing is, after watching Furiosa, basically, see when it gets to the credits, just turn it off. There's my down point in Furiosa. It's maybe a wee bit long, and also when it gets to the end and the credits start coming up, it starts showing you clips from Fury Road, which kind of, no, it just ends. When it ends. As soon as the credits start, just hit stop. You'll be laughing. Oh God, Sloane, that's been a long. Is that not an insanely long time? I thought you always wanted to get it out of the way after a couple of days, but I mean, how the fuck do you do that? I don't know. That's all. I mean, I can't even imagine what you're going through. I mean, fucking heart goes out to you. Really awful. Yeah, sorry, I'm not I'm slowly, I'm just trying to change the subject, but I mean, with you, man, women, yeah, it's like the whole thing. I like, see the number of the stuff that I've heard by having the albums. I'm very much an albumy person. I like that. So some bands that doesn't work. There's some bands which I like one or two singles from them, but I don't like the rest of them. But there's other bands where I just like the sound of the band and ultimately kind of like everything they've done. Your Creedence Clearwater Revival, you know what I mean? If you like Bad Moon Rising and Down in the Corner, you're going to like all their songs. Judas Priest, if you like Breaking the Law, Hellbent for Leather, you're going to like most of their songs, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Maybe I can understand maybe somebody liking Black Sabbath Paranoid, but can't be bothered with the big, long, epic 7-minute War Pigs and Iron Man. I get that. Where you can like one song because it's quite different. Well, it's not really that different, but it's shorter. Yeah, well, you're just ready for me to just sign off. Unfortunately, a wee bit late. I'm going to basically make these 8 till 10. I can keep going longer, but it's really the drinking thing. I'm really noticing that drinking like a third of a bottle of wine is enough to get merry and great, but not be too dribbly and not be fucking ill tomorrow is really the way it goes. From Dublin to Killie, is that a motorbike as in a jet ski / motorbike? Yeah, well, sorry, I was been best of luck. I don't even know what to say. That's dribbly, yeah, but you know, I mean, you get to the point where things get a wee bit wrong. I mean, I'm just basically, I'm now really appreciating. See, one of the reasons I used to drink, or I do drink, it's so that people that are drunk don't annoy me. That makes sense? It's like, if I've been drinking as well, it's not really annoying when someone's just talking absolute pish. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so, but if I'm sober and my pals are all drunk talking absolute pish, it's like, oh fuck it, I'm going home. Whereas, you know, to get a partner, I don't know if I know it. I don't really know any tunes. I don't rehearse. So it's like I could play 50 songs, but I can't remember how to play any of them right now. You got a shot of a chat when I was watching videos. I'm totally bored, but it's just exactly totally. I've been in a skip. I remember running about in a skip. I remember one time when I must have been 17 or something like that, drinking a whole bottle of Bucky in one go, because we were going into my pal's house and it's like we couldn't drink in his house, so I basically drank, and then went out for a walk, and then I remember running. It was an empty skip, and I was doing treating it like a half pipe and a skateboard. I didn't have a skateboard though, so I was like kind of running up one side, jumping, and then running up and then jumping. I remember doing that, yeah. Heavy crane operator. I don't think you get heavy cranes in Holland, Mr. Whitesnake. They don't build high enough. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think. It's unacceptable. Like, for somebody like me who's maybe able to play quite a lot of stuff on the guitar, I should really have half a dozen stupid songs that I just know how to play. It's like, because I mean, there's so many songs I know that are fucking easy, but I don't bother remembering them. You know what I mean? That's what you want to be able to sing. It's like TV theme tunes and stuff like that, really, isn't it? Something. It's almost like Blazing Saddles, but it's so hard to remember because I didn't learn it. That's the problem with Blazing Saddles. I fucking read the chords off the internet. I just looked it up. So because I read the chords, I can't remember it. Whereas anything that I've ever worked out myself, I can still remember. I see a bad moon rising. I see a trouble overhead. I think we're in for nasty weather. I panic now that the moon rising. No, where was it? Shattered living. It's easy to do the things you wanted, bought them for you. Praiseless lady, no land, and you know I can't hold you. Fly through my hand. There's a bathroom on the right. Never really thought of that. There's a bathroom on the yes. No. I would have totally sang that. Used to play that in Cranking House I was in. That was actually how I got into the band, because they were like, you're all Badman Rising. I was able to do the sort of I used to play one. I used to sell my 12 string. Somebody actually, I was trying to sell a guitar, a guitar kit that Civet bought me, which I never wanted, like a double neck Flying V. And a guy offered to swap it for a Yamaha 12 stringer, and it's like, I've got a Yamaha 12 stringer that I should probably sell. I should really dig it out and try and play it. I just can't be bothered stringing it. It's also massive. I can't be bothered with acoustics. I've got too many guitars. I need to sell half of them, basically. It's getting to the point of there's just too many. I don't have an attic to store them in either. So I mean, the YouTube room is the same size as this room, but it's basically going to be a third of the room is just guitars, not in just in cases. And my bedroom, I lost an entire wall. It's quite a big bedroom, but it's like basically that much. Down the whole right hand side is basically guitar cases, and then stacked up to the roof on top of it. So I basically just reduced the entire room by a whole foot just for cases. The thing about I used to think this used to be my point with the 12 stringers was I had a couple of them. If you're going to, a 12 string guitar has to be more expensive than a 6 string guitar. So if you're looking at, I don't know, whatever the most basic Yamaha is, 120 quid or something for the FG 310, that's fine. That's a decent, those are good guitars. You can maybe upgrade the tuners if they break later on, but they are fucking, it's a proper instrument, nothing wrong with it. If you're looking at a 12 string guitar and it's only £100 new, it's not. There's an awful lot of fucking tension and stuff and things to go wrong. So you kind of need a better one. You need to be spending a 200, 300 to get a 12 stringer that's as good as a £120 6 stringer. I'd sent an acoustic back the other day, an old K folk size thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes you can get like a pure silly one, and you get like, it's got that junky sound. I don't mean junky, I mean like, you know, your C6 Steve or your Jack White, you know, quirky sound. Or it's good for old blues, it's good for slide. In other words, what you mean, it doesn't sound like a proper acoustic guitar. Yeah. Got to pay someone to restring my double neck 1.6, 1.12 because I thought, fuck that noise, or said that. Down to over 20 guitars. I could handle even 20 guitars. I just think, it gets to the point of, what's the point in having them if you can't have them out, play them? But I mean, in saying that, what was the point of me having all those records for the last 7 years or whatever it was, 8, 10 years? I had them. And honestly, when I was getting chucked at the house, I was like, I'm going to have to sell them. How am I going to sell them? How do you sell that amount of records? And then suddenly it's like, oh no, hold on, I can buy one of these IKEA units, actually use them. Oh, honestly, my happiness factor just, and everything in my life is 10% better because I've got the records there. I'm just happier, 10% happier just by, yes, I've always wanted to have them, and it's just, I'm listening to them a fair bit, but it's lovely. See, putting on a record, I don't know, I feel so sophisticated. You know what I mean? It's like, well, so I get up, have a cup of coffee. I've started drinking coffee, yeah. So have a cup of coffee and stick on a record. You know what I mean? Yeah, fucking great. My 1270s Epiphone 12 string costs £100. It should have been near £600, but cash is priced at wrong. Well, there you go. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Again, that's an expensive. It's just one of those things. It's a little bit the same with a bass as well. Bass necks are longer. The strings are under more tension, so a bass has to be built better than a guitar. The same as a 12-string guitar has to be built better than a 6-string guitar because there's an awful lot of tension involved. So it just basically needs to be stronger. Jonathan said record collection, you know, a chunk are worth a few quid, but there's always a stack of filler records that are great but worthless. Yeah, well, that's it. I've got a wee bit that way with guitars as well. I mean, it's like, I've got some guitars that are worth, I mean, but even again, I would put this as priceless because you're never going to find another one, but it's not actually worth that much money. I mean, it's not worth as much as the most boring Gibson Les Paul. Like it's a studio in brown. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, how many of them are they? Oh, they make, 250,000 a year, and they have made them sit 250,000 a year since, and it's like, I don't know how many of these there are, but I mean, it's still worth more money, and you're like, that just can't be true. I can't understand how someone would be like into guitars like that, who have played things like this, and honestly in their head go, oh, this guitar's great, I quite like this, yeah, totally, oh, this is worth 300 quid. I really like my £2,500 Les Paul though. It's this is worth 300 and it's worth 2.5. Yeah. I can't. I don't think, in all honesty, you could play most of these guitars, no matter who you are, and not say that your £3,000 Fender is 5% better. Maybe you can say that. Not more than that. Nobody sees worth this stuff, but that's the problem I had with the records. The same thing happened with the guitars. When I was looking through them, and it's like, everyone I looked at, that's fucking amazing. It's exactly the sort of guitar I like, because it's mine. If any one of my guitars was in Guitar, and I didn't own it, that would be the most interesting guitar in the shop. Or in Anderton's, I would be in Anderton's, go up here, San Ibanez Roadster. I'm not interested in 20 grand Fender fucking Brad Paisley. I'm not interested in any of that shit at all. It's like, something actually interesting. Whoa. Most guitar shops dead boring. The owners must think I'm a prick because I walk in and don't get impressed by much. But the thing is, it's what actually impresses you. And it's like, if you look up, most people are quite happy to see what most people like and then say, oh, that's my opinion. It's like, oh, Harley Benton, oh, they're really amazing. I've got 6 of them now. I pure love them. All right, 6 of them, really? Have you ever tried like something like this? Oh, no. I just looked up the internet and bought 6 guitars. I've only played for 3 months. Right, okay. A free Encore is a plastic. Well, there you go. If it's free, fucking aye. Encore are good. I'd put Encore above Harley Benton. Sorry. There you go. Actually, you're saying there, Sloan, you're taking modern guitars. Is it just modern guitars? I'm saying more. Yes, I understand the thing that this has history. It's from 1986. Oh, what's happened in all that time? This has been in existence. But yeah, I get that. But even if this was built now to this standard, it would be the most interesting guitar in the shop. It's not just the fact that it's old. I'm one for the engineering mathematical type. So for me, it's got to be fucking brilliant. We're talking about, feel and angles and accuracy and all that shit. It's all very important. I want a good guitar. I'm not interested in the one that's most popular. I'm interested in one that's good. And there's arguments to be made for putting this up against anything and saying, build-wise, fault it. And it's like, not really much you can fault. You know what I mean? It's like, go and spend a couple of grand in a Gibson and then fault it. You're going to be able to fault it. It doesn't matter how not picky you are, you're going to be able to fault it. Doesn't make it any worse, but most exciting thing in a brick and mortar shop was a new old stock Echo violin bass reissue. At Nodham, we ended up ringing the shop and buying it, needed to collect it. Well, there you go. And saying that, the most interesting thing I ever saw in a shop was the Washburn B28 8-string bass. And that took me a while to cotton on, but that, for me, when I bought that, was just like, this is the best. I've never seen anything like it. Own Fenders. Got a Schecter bass, got Schecter telly, had a Gibson SG, bought this Washburn, and it's just like, fucking hell. It's just taking the piss. That's the first guitar I ever had that was really, this is totally excessive. It doesn't need any of this shit on it. You know what I mean? All this shit just makes it more expensive and look amazing, but it's already amazing, so it's fine doing that. You're not taking something shite and putting expensive stuff on it. You're taking something that's already amazing and then making it as bling as possible. Oh, amazing. I like the sounds you get from older pickups and the feel of a neck that's been 30 years of play. I'm sure that's part, that'll be a part of why I like these guitars. Yes, they have been played in, I suppose. I don't really think it that way, but and also the wood has now aged. You know, if you're buying a 10 grand guitar, yes, they probably aged that wood for 10 or 20 years before they built the guitar, which you should do. They didn't do that with these guitars. This was not aged for 30 years. Now it's been aged for 40 years, so it's all crystallised and all that, so it is possibly better than it was when it was new. This is just such an absolute joy to play this guitar. Maybe I still prefer the wee red one, just because it's more of a Strat. This is going towards something else. This is halfway between, well, you get a Strat, and then you get the red Star, the RG140, which is kind of like a bit more sporty, and then you get this, and then you get the RG, the 1987 Steve Vai RG, which is more than this. This is somewhere between the Strat and the RG, even though it is an RG. You're not overjoyed with the page? Oh, that's because you've not seen it in the Flesh X, perhaps. This is the best painted. I don't know why it never cut on. There's something about seeing something in the wild. Yes, I get that rush as well, but it doesn't necessarily. Well, when you say in the wild, I mean, it comes down to. Yes, I mean, if you go into guitar whatever guitar shop and you go, oh, I quite fancy that Epiphone SG. That's a current model, which you might very well do. You're going to buy it today, or do you? I'll get that next month. Well, I'll maybe get that next month, and then next month comes round, and it's like, oh, I'll not get it just now, and then they don't sell it anymore. And I'm like, all right, I missed it. It doesn't have that. There's a fucking look at the colour of that guitar. I need to buy that. I've never seen another one. I might never see another one. I'm not. Obviously, that's part of my thing as well. I've never seen that before. That's why I've struggled selling some of the guitars I've got, because it's like, how would I ever replace this? I could replace it with another coloured one, but I wouldn't be able to get one this colour. It's not even one of those ones where you go, right, well, oh, I got it for a really good price, blah blah blah. Really, price no object. How are you going to get one of these? The only way you're going to get one of these, if I needed one next month, is to look up YouTube and try and find someone else that got it and then offer them $2,000 for it. That's the only way you're going to get it. You know what I mean? We've all played a lot of guitars, and it does come to personal preference, within reason. I mean, there's some things I don't like because they're badly built. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's shit. So it's like, it's not a case of not liking it. It is shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, listening to, Frank Zappa. I maybe don't like it. We'll listen to Oasis. It's shit. Different. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to, I've never actually played a real PRS, but I'm not going to play a real PRS and go, this is shit, because it's not going to be shit. I might not like it though. It's not going to be shit though. Have you seen those weird pickups that appeared in some Jim Deacons, different with a normal magnet? Don't think so, no. Antiques places, I don't know if you played for them. The quirky ones are great, aye. Tanglewood, Jim Deacon, Westfield, Gold Area Pro, all cheap but great. Well, there you go, yes. I mean, these are like, we are going down to quite the cheaper end with those ones, but I mean, yeah, none of them are, every one of them's better than N8. You know what I mean? Straight up. But that's the point I got to with my the first guitar was an Isle was a Hondo Telecaster, had a pointy headstock and it like a leopard skin scratch plate, and I got it in cash converters, and I couldn't believe that guitar when I got it home and fixed the nut. it was like, this is a proper guitar. What other proper guitars are out there? Because at the time I totally thought that all guitars are shit. If you want to be in a band at all or play like in the studio through a big amp, you needed minimum £250 Epiphone or Squier, minimum. If you were going to be gigging, you needed a Mexican or a Gibson. You needed that. It wasn't until I bought this Hondo I suddenly realised that this was better than, well, basically the same as the Epiphones at 400 quid, and it's like, alright, what other guitars are out there that are that quality level? It's not a case of, so it's the quality thing that gets me, and it really, and then I went through the Hondo phase, and it's like, you're sitting there, Alexander, going through your Tango with Jim Deacon, they're all fucking amazing, but they're Korean, and the thing is, Japanese guitars are just better, and okay, it might, if it costs you 4 times as much, then that's fine. But I started realising that you can actually get them for not that much more. I mean, okay, I class this as one of the guitars I spent money on. I mean, I paid more than the cheapest Squier to get this new. Probably not massively more. What's the second Squier Strat up? Not the cheapest one. What's it, 120? The Sonic. What's the next one up? That's what I paid for this. And it's like, yeah. My Columbus Semi-Hollow that someone wanted, has now got 2 P90s, a third West Tone humbucker, and a coil tap face. That's just, there you go. Japanese in the business, that's why you sell them. I say, I can't sell them, that's a problem. I can't sell them because I don't want them to go, unless it goes to the right person. Someone who's going to appreciate for what it is. You bought a microtonal guitar but couldn't play shit, so I did an old Squier neck so I could play. It's a solid Jazzmaster type. There you go. Yes. I don't know. It's like one of those things that the microtonal, again, there is a reason that the 4-string bass, the P bass, for example, and the Strat and the Les Paul are the ones to go for, because everything else just kind of isn't as good. When I say the Strat and the Les Paul, I mean guitars of that scale length. There's plenty of guitars better than Strats and Les Pauls. Right, so there you go. After I said I was going to stop at 10, I continued to go on for a wee bit longer. So this week, I've actually got a what's in the box. In fact, I'll do a what's in the box before we go, because I don't actually know what's in the box, right? Bear with me 2 seconds. I'll put this away. Yeah, so my pal sold a guitar, and the guy he bought it off apparently met me before one time, and or he sold the guitar, and the guy he sold it to said something about blah 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 having a guitar that didn't work, and he knew who I was, so he's like, I'll drop you off. So this is partly got electrical wiring. It says Donner on the box, so it might be a Donner, but we don't actually know. It is a Donner. Now, to me, right, see, I've not been given any information on this at all. The neck's twisted. So, to me, it's got electrical problems. Well, it's not really got electrical problems, does it? There's no parts on it, and the fretboard's be completely taped up. Could probably, the neck's twisted, could probably get away with making it work, but I'm kinda at the point of not being able to do anything with this guitar already. I can't, if you've got like a guitar that's, slightly, you're having to do the frets and stuff, do it yourself. You can't really expect somebody to take this on. You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking, to get this back working, it's going to be 150, 200 quid from a shop. So I think I might have to just, I might just have to return it. There's not really anything I can do with it. It's not completely warped. It's kind of alright, but it's not worth spending any money on. So, sorry, Alex, your pal's guitar is I'm not doing into it. I've got to learn to say no. I can't. I mean, it's like I get the attention. Some people take kind of advantage, like, "Oh, you'll be able to fix that," or just fix it up and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, right. It's like, how much is that? 30 quid. Oh, 30 quid for changing a pickup. Took me 3 hours because you cunt fucking didn't have any of the screws and blah 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 blah. So, yeah, I don't know about. Sorry, I got a wee bit annoyed about that. There's not really anything I can do with that, so I'm just gonna have to just say no. At least I know immediately what's wrong. I mean, as a project for someone who's wants to fanny about with it, that's fine. But you can't be giving that to somebody to fix. Not in that condition. So, I should have done that live. Should I? That was a bad thing to do. The neck in question is like a baseball bat and a good, lovely finish. See, I don't really have a thing about hating any particular shape of neck. Oh, this is awesome, this has got a thick neck. Oh, awesome, this has got a thin neck. Yes, that's it. I know, but that's the thing. So, I mean, even if I fix that up, ideally, how much if you spent 120 quid on a guitar, do you know what I mean? Or I assume they bought it cheap because it's a return or something. It's more than 100 quid to fix that. Even if I did it, you know what I mean? It's like, and the thing is, because it's already pretty fucked, it's not like it's going to be an easy one. It's going to be a nightmare. Yeah. A guitar maintenance set from Temu and a set of decent nut files. I'm sure it was under 30 quid. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, but that's not a neck untwisting files. Yeah, sometimes they're just. You got to know where to draw the line. I mean, I've noticed that. I mean, Jen's getting much better, and so have I. Getting to the point of buying guitars for Bucky Casters or whatever. Say you see a Rock Jam, a Swift, a Harley Benton for a tenner, right? Seems like a bargain, right? Or you see an Encore or a Stag for £30, right? Encore. Because that extra 20 quid you've paid for that is going to save you so much time in trying to deal with absolute shit. Because Encores are not absolute shit, whereas a lot of guitars are. You know, we're talking about here when you go to turn the screws and the heads come off. You know, it's like they've gone for, we've got to save another 3 pence. And it's like, well, we can save another 3 pence by putting tuners on that bend. Save the 3 pence. Do you know what I mean? We've got to hit that £89 starting price. Yeah. I think it's maybe X-Paps. I think it's maybe worth buying a decent nut file. Bit of summer stuff. Don't buy drill. Temu's a funny one. Don't buy drill bits from Temu. I bought drill bits and they were really fucking cheap. Like wee metal drill bits, I thought that's great, and I got like 20 for 3 quid. And honestly, see, if put the drill bit in and just try and push it into your finger. It's difficult to cut yourself. That's how shit they were. Really, like, totally just doesn't drill into wood. You're like, right. So I've got 20 of these, and the first one, brand spanking new, I put in, cannot drill a hole in a scratch plate. Right. Don't bother with them. Fix that bent neck with a car. Well, yes. I'm just. It's like sometimes you just got to say no. I mean, that's like. I've had to say no for repairs before when it's just like, look, I'm sorry, it's just not worth it. I don't want to. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not doing this. I get if you took it into a shop, they would charge you 150 quid to put that back together again. It would still have a twisted neck, and it wouldn't be a good guitar. I can't charge somebody £100 for a repair if after the repair the guitar's going to be worth £100. It's like, I've had to do that before, and I've ended up screwing myself. You know, folk taking advantage of getting a guitar that wasn't worth fixing. It's like, I'm looking at it going, up here, well, now it's fixed, it's maybe worth 100 quid. It fucking took me all day, right? Oh, 50 quid then? It's like, oh, that's great. Fucking cost me enough. It cost me more than 50 quid in parts to make the fucker work. Anyway. rock on. If you haven't spiked the likes, if you can spike the likes on the way out, that would be awesome. And any requests for anything during the week, give me a shout. I think I'm probably going to be putting out a couple of videos during the week. I quite like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, and maybe one during the week. I don't know. I'll maybe have another go at a recordy one. You don't need to watch them. If you don't want to watch them, if you could do me a favour, just going in and clicking like at the start anyway, so it doesn't seem as bad, and then don't watch it. Rocking. Catch you later, and I love you all, and it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to getting back into my room with my amps and all that. I'm currently trying to work out somewhere putting all the guitars on the wall. No, to be honest, I'm currently trying to work out where I put the cursor. Oh, there it is. Right, so now I've got the cursor. So I've got to stop streaming. Have a good week. I shall see you all during the week. I'll see if I buy any more guitars. I was going to do one fixing that guitar, but I can't do it. I just need to explain.